the time is kind of running out. If we're being honest here, the Bitcoin halving is coming in 5 months. The Bitcoin ETF, anywhere from 2 to 4 months away. Maybe we got 5 months left at a maximum. Using it's time, it's running out. I know, it can be a bit hyperbolic, but the reality is this time is running out. You will not have forever to accumulate at these price levels. At some point, prices will trade significantly higher than they are today. Probably not tomorrow, probably not next week, unless we get a Bitcoin ETF suddenly approved. But that time is here. That time is coming. All bear cycles end, bull cycles begin again, and it repeats. And it goes on and on and on and on and on throughout time. You have to be ready for the ups and downs in the markets, of course, and be prepared to be paying attention when most people aren't paying attention, which is right now and has been for the past year. I've been here. You've been here. It's been a very exciting time. In today's video, I want to talk with you a bit about the cycle, a bit about the ETF news, got some updates for you on some hot altcoins as well. Big things happening, as well as our Black Friday sale for Wealth Mastery. Gotta stay tuned for those details. Now, let's jump straight in here, I think, and talk a little bit about price of Bitcoin. Just quickly. Bitcoin did rally a bit today on the Argentine presidential elections. More on that in just a second. We can see, though, we have not come back up to test our ceiling. Our ceiling, of course, is right around $38,000 right now. We had a test of 38K on the 9th of November, a further test on the 15th of November, another test, potentially a break, will come in the not so distant future. But that is the line to beat right now for Bitcoin, 38 freaking K. Now, to be clear, retests of like the 50-day exponential moving average, yellow line on the chart here, currently around $33,500. It's pretty normal stuff. Expect that to happen at some point in this market cycle. We'll have plenty of retests of these major moving averages and areas of key support, all that kind of stuff. Now, markets were very, very bullish recently. It's kept a lot of people who are sidelined, waiting for those better entries. Now, I've been dollar cost averaging in for the last year. I have bids in lower in case we do get one of those days and you wake up and you go, oh my gosh, what the heck happened to the markets? You have this big just blasts down and then probably quick recovery, because that's the kind of market that we're in right now. But your bids don't get filled if you don't put them in. So I got some bids in just in case we get one of those days. Now, anyway, Argentine President Javier Milei, new guy, he's going to take over. So Bitcoin pumped a bit on this news. He's pro-Bitcoin, anti-central bank, although also pro-dollar. So from what I understand, and I'm not an expert on his policies or his platform or Argentine presidential elections, although I do love Argentina. It's a country that's got a special place in my heart. I love drinking yerba mate, some good stuff, man, if you never had it. And yeah, my wife and I have long talked about going to Argentina, getting a llama farm or something. I don't know if that will be a reality just from practical standpoint, but we do like llamas too. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. He very pro Bitcoin, which is great to see. I love seeing pro Bitcoin candidates. G20 country, of course, Argentina. The central bank in Argentina is an absolute pile of crap and does need to be shut down, although his plan is to phase out the peso and bring in the US dollar, which I do not like. I do not like that plan. You see, when you and other countries in Latin America have done this, Ecuador's on the US dollar, El Salvador's on the US dollar. I think one or two other countries may also. In South and Central America, go to Asia, you'll see very large adoption for the US dollar alongside local currencies, of course. But yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. Because when you bring the US dollar into your country, you're essentially outsourcing your central bank to another country, where it's not like Americans have any kind of say what goes on at the central bank, but at least there's some kind of facade that you have some level of influence over it with your vote. You don't really, but at least you feel like that. But when another country adopts the US dollar as their currency, it's like really just like, man, all of your monetary fate is tied to what happens in Washington, not in Buenos Aires, but Washington. Anyway, I would prefer him to make Bitcoin a legal tender. That would be a real move. That would be the move for Argentina, if you ask me, as a, absolute Bitcoin fanatic myself. One thing's for sure, though, the Argentine peso is an absolute mess. I've got a lot of Argentinian friends, and I'm glad that they got out and they came here and that they're not in Argentina anymore, because staying in Argentina, living through that mess, it's terrible. And I feel terrible for all the people that live there and have to deal with the rampant inflation, the destruction of your savings, the destruction of the economy, and of course, everything that goes along with that, high unemployment rates and loss of jobs and all that stuff. It's just a reminder. Fiat is a plague, and all fiat currencies end up the same. Some take longer to get there than others, but they all end up the same. They all end up in the gutter of history. Bitcoin stands as something very, very different, which is part of the reason why we're all so excited about it. Okay, enough with that. So, a little bit of perspective here on where we are in the cycle for you. This is a post by Pentoshi. He's saying, here's what a pump would actually look like versus what we've had so far. See, everyone's getting very, very excited about the markets. And I love feeling excited about the markets. I love that everyone's excited about the markets. Everyone's a lot happier when the prices are going up, aren't we? Aren't we, guys? Things are a lot better on social media. Things are a lot better in the comment section. Things are a lot better overall when prices are going up. But this price action that we've had, for perspective, just a blip on the radar. If we actually look and think about how far we have to go, still Bitcoin still 50% under all-time highs. Ethereum still more than 50% under all-time highs. Most altcoins still 70, 80, 90% down in spite of recent price action. It takes a long time to climb back up that wall of destruction that happened in 2022. The time will come when things go crazy and we have just basically a rocket-like liftoff for the markets. But that's not today. Maybe that'll be if around a Bitcoin ETF approval, Ethereum ETF approval. That could be the case. We shall see, of course, how much excitement that actually generates overnight, short term. But for perspective, we are still very early on in this current cycle. And if we want to see real crazy happen, it's going to be a little while. Watch for things to start going absolutely vertical. Right now, we're just slightly uptrending horizontal, which is a long way away from where we want to be. Wick here pointing out we're still so early in this bull market. Consecutive green dots, this is on his indicator here, have just now started. Election year coming up. Bitcoin halving in 2024. BlackRock ETFs. Company has 99.8% historical approval rate. There you go. There you go. SEC saying, imagine selling on the first tiny pullback when the start of next year you have ETF approval decisions, Bitcoin halving, rate cuts, election year, all that fun kind of stuff. Crypto NB saying probably a few more months until your friends ask if they should buy Bitcoin again. Always is the case, isn't it? Always is the damn case. People will start calling when the all-time highs come in. They like to buy high and sell low, but that's not you. You're here now. You like to buy low and sell high. That's how the winning is done. Not the other way around. But we do have major catalysts coming. Bitcoin having 5 months away, April next year. Crazy. Feels like the other one just happened, 3.5 years ago. But it, doesn't seem that long ago in the grand scheme of things. Been a busy few years for us all, of course, in the markets. Very, very exciting 2020 and 2021. And then 2022, we all had pain and suffering and pulling of hair and gnashing of teeth. It was not a great time by any means. Bitcoin ETFs, 2 to 4 months away. January 10th is a date that a lot of people put a lot of importance on because that is the final deadline for ARK Invest's Bitcoin ETF product. If that one gets denied, expect chaos in markets. But then we would look forward to mid-March for the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF approval or denial. Assuming we get Bitcoin ETFs, then Ethereum ETFs will be following hot on the heels. I would say 4 to 6 months away. That's just, a number I pulled straight on my butt there for you. But 4 to 6 months away, I would say, for Ethereum ETFs. You have other stuff, too, that has knock-on effects. You have the Doge 1 rocket. Elon probably going to have to tweet a bunch about the Doge 1 rocket when it goes up into space. That's very exciting. Rate cuts, money printing. World War III has not happened yet. In spite of all the proclamations of the doomers on social media, we have not yet had World War III happen. In fact, the Chinese president came out the other day and said, let me be clear. do not want a hot war with America. We don't want a cold war with America. And we don't want to have a military engagement in Taiwan. Of course, which is just code, American military code for they want a war. Let's spend more money. Anyway, assuming World War III doesn't happen, we're set. We're set. Yeah, there could be a recession. Yeah, there could be some negative economic macro stuff still playing out. Obviously, still lots of things that are cause for concern in the macroeconomic scene. But if you look at all the crypto specific stuff, we are looking primed for potentially very big gains in 2024 leading into 2025, at which point you better gosh darn sell, or you want to hold your bags all the way back down to zero again. Choice is yours. Do whatever you want. Not financial advice here, of course. Just a dude sharing his thoughts on how not to get totally wrecked in this cycle. Anyway. Okay. Now, before we get into the ETF news and everything else here, by the way, I just want to mention, if you're new to the stream, shout out, of course, to everyone joining the stream here on YouTube or on X. I see all your questions coming in there in the chat. Thank you very much for, of course, putting those questions in there, guys. We will wait until the end of the stream to be answering those questions for you. So chat to each other, have a good time, save all your questions till the end of the stream, and I'll be answering all of your questions, or as many questions as I can in 15 or 20 minutes time. So stay tuned for that. Now, I have to let you know about our crazy Black Friday sale for Wealth Mastery. This is the biggest sale we've ever done. This is the biggest sale we're probably ever going to do. It's absolutely nuts. Everything I've just told you about the market cycle, how early we are, how crazy things are going to get, et cetera, et cetera. I believe all that stuff. This is why I'm telling it to you. This is what I believe. This is how I am personally placing my money in the markets. I'm very heavily invested right now on the assumption that things are going to get pretty crazy in the coming months, year, 18 months maybe. This is why we're doing the craziest Black Friday deal ever for you guys, because I want you to have the tools that you need to be able to take advantage of this coming market cycle. So we are doing 33% off our Wealth Mastery Premium. Now, you hear me talk a lot about our Wealth Mastery free service, which is a fantastic newsletter, best damn newsletter in the industry, if you ask me, of course. That's news and alpha and airdrops and all kinds of stuff. But for our premium plan, normally it would be $234 for 6 months, $39 a month. If you go premium now, we're doing a 33% discount. 33% discount. That's a lifetime discount, by the way. You can cancel anytime, 14-day. No questions asked, 100% money back guarantee, of course, if you are not happy in those first 2 weeks. But this is a lifetime discount. We've never done a lifetime discount before. We're doing a lifetime discount only for this Black Friday sale. So you can get it for $156 for 6 months. And the premium gives you like the next level of information, right? The free newsletter is amazing. The premium one, you're going to get step-by-step DeFi tutorials, weekly technical analysis on all kinds of trending altcoins. We do a weekly altcoin report on a trending altcoin, and under the radar gem altcoin, all this kind of stuff, right? To your inbox every single week. My weekly portfolio updates, all the little details that I don't actually share here on YouTube or Twitter. You know, the airdrops that I'm farming and different stuff like this, little different things I'm doing in DeFi and whatnot, all that stuff shared there as well as more airdrops beyond what you get in the free newsletter, NFT mints. Huge value. That discount itself is huge value at 33% off for 6 months. But because, again, I want you to have the tools that you need to make this market cycle, the market cycle where you win big, we are literally giving away our $297 value altcoin course for free if you get the 6-month plan. Pretty awesome, because it is awesome. Guys, there's a link in the description. Click on that link, get signed up. This deal only lasts for a few days. This is our special Black Friday deal. So again, this is the craziest Black Friday we've ever done. Probably aren't going to do this again next year. So if you want to get that locked in, get that lifetime discount for the premium membership locked in, and get the altcoin course at $297 value for free, click the link. Check it out, man. All right. That's it. Let's go on to the next news. So let's talk about the Bitcoin ETF. We're also going to talk a bit about Ethereum ETFs too. But first, Bitcoin ETF, the decision of the US SEC regarding the Global X Bitcoin ETF has been delayed until December 22nd. They just keep delaying the damn things, but they have not denied anybody yet. That's an important thing. Comment period set up for public to express their opinions in the next 35 days. The SEC has also postponed the decision on whether to approve the Franklin Templeton Bitcoin ETF until early 2024. Nothing is a particularly large surprise here. To be honest, we are expecting these delays to continue until probably the last possible moment, which is January 10th for the ARK Invest, or if they actually go so bold as to deny the ARK Invest Bitcoin ETF, then we're looking at mid-March for the next ETF round, which is BlackRock and the other big boys. Interesting update, though. The SEC has advised exchanges to do cash creates for spot Bitcoin ETFs and asked them to file amendments in the next couple of weeks to reflect that. Now, that's very, very interesting update. Basically, that means that they want to be settling those in cash, not in Bitcoin, essentially. So a cash create instead of being an in-kind. Timbo here unpacks it for us. In-kind creation explained. In traditional ETFs, in-kind creation involves delivering a basket of assets like stocks to the ETF issuer in exchange for new shares. For a Bitcoin ETF, this means handing over actual Bitcoin. Benefits of in-kind, it's tax efficient, keeps the ETF's price aligned with its net asset value. But for Bitcoin, it means dealing with the complexities of securing and transferring digital assets. Enter the cash create. Instead of assets, cash is given to the ETF issuer who then buys the underlying asset, Bitcoin in this case, on the market. This is simpler operationally than managing actual Bitcoin transactions. Why cash create matters. This method would have a direct impact on the Bitcoin market. When ETFs buy Bitcoin to back new shares, it could boost demand for BTC, potentially driving up its price, aka they have to take your cash and buy Bitcoin off of Coinbase and then stick it in the Bitcoin ETF product, thus creating big price demand for Bitcoin, sucking up spot Bitcoin off of exchanges, putting it into the ETF products. Essentially here, the SEC's angle here by favoring cash creations, the SEC might be looking to integrate Bitcoin into the financial system in a regulated, controlled manner. It's about balancing innovation with market stability. Final thought, the SEC's preference for cash creates in Bitcoin ETFs is a strategic move. It's not just about regulatory compliance. It's about shaping how Bitcoin interacts with and influences the broader financial market. Now, that's all very exciting. Nice explanation. Thank you, Timbo. Most importantly here to realize is that this would not be happening if they were not planning on approving the damn Bitcoin ETF. Why would they be having these conversations? Why would they be talking to exchanges and saying, hey, you guys need to do this, 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 and this in preparation of Bitcoin ETFs listing on your exchanges? They wouldn't be doing that, but they are doing that, which again means that the Bitcoin ETF is looking increasingly likely. Also evidence for that, I really do believe, is that BlackRock filed for an Ethereum spot ETF, which I don't think they would do if they didn't think they were going to get the Bitcoin spot ETF approved. Straight up. Bitcoin news, have a nice little reminder here for us. There are currently 2.04 million Bitcoin on exchanges, down 32% from 2020 levels. It's crazy stuff, guys. Only 2 million Bitcoin left sitting on exchanges. Now, we've run the numbers many times, but it would not take a lot of money to buy all that Bitcoin. Grand scheme of things. I know billions and billions of dollars, right? Which seems like a lot of money to us. But then you realize that to BlackRock, Fidelity, the other big boys, Invesco, all the institutions, the family offices, the millionaires, the billionaires, it ain't big money to them. It's not. It's not. Apple, just Apple, one company. And of course, there's other big top 10 tech companies that also have huge cash treasure chests. But just Apple has enough cash just sitting there waiting that they could literally buy every single Bitcoin currently sitting on exchanges and still have like more than half of their cash left sitting there. So yes, tens of billions of dollars seems like huge numbers, and it is huge numbers, but not to these guys. And when we get the Bitcoin ETF products, it changes the game for liquidity in these markets. Now, Ethereum ETF. So, $4.5 trillion asset manager Fidelity officially espoused for a spot Ethereum ETF. There you go. The number one asset manager in the world, BlackRock, has filed for a spot Ethereum ETF. The number three, Fidelity, has filed for a spot Ethereum ETF. And then there's number two, Vanguard, who has come out and said, well, actually, we're not going to be getting into crypto ETFs. Okay, Vanguard, hear me now, quote me later. Vanguard's going to do Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, Dogecoin ETFs at some point in the future. Maybe not next year, but they'll be forced to join the party like everyone else. Just because they don't want to be first, fine. You can be last. You can be last, Vanguard. That's all. That's fine. Let everybody else make all the money first. Cool strategy, guys. Anyway, big things happening for Ethereum. But what's interesting right now, Ethereum, if you look at the charts here, Ethereum has basically been just winding up in this big fat old triangle here for a very, very long time. One of these days, we're going to have this epic breakout from this. Of course, you can move the top line around here a bit if you'd prefer to see, for example, it bouncing off the top of this peak here back in April of 2023, but still, let's run it from that one initially. But regardless of how you want to put that down, we are very close to nearing a major breakout on this line. And as Pew2 points out, yes, ETH has been super boring. Super boring. I agree. ETH has been super boring compared to Solana, even Bitcoin. Even Bitcoin's been going crazy. ETH has been lagging behind, but it won't be lagging behind forever. The day will come when ETH will catch up and it'll have an epic moment. And maybe that has to wait until Ethereum ETFs are approved. We shall see. We shall see. Right now, consolidating, waiting for the move. And the move will come. The move will come for Ethereum. It'll be crazy. And it'll catch a lot of people off guard when it happens. Now, Elon Musk saying that X Corp investors will own 25% of XAI. In fact, that AI announcement, we are already starting to see AI coins starting to move. Of course, BIT, Tensor, Tau has been the big success story of this year. I do not have a bag, and I am happy for everybody that is making money on it. There you go. Render also making some big moves in the last 7 days. In fact, AI coins in general making some nice moves. BIT, Tensor, and Render, the only ones currently in the $1 billion market cap range. Still some others down here for more reasonable prices, of course. But you have to watch out, I think, like with anything in the AI space and the crypto space, I think more broadly, you have to make sure that you're differentiating between the ones that are actually providing real products, real value, and the tokens that actually have some reason to go up in price beyond people just speculating like, oh, that does AI, it's going to go up. That works sometimes, but if you want real long-term value accrual, you need to have mechanisms in place to make sure that token does accrue value, whether that's token burns or whatever else. And of course, you need to have real working products behind that have some kind of real value that's going to make people excited and want to buy and hold these things. So I think the market is starting to separate the wheat from the chaff here in that regard. But I think as we see more AI news, whether it be from Elon Musk's XAI or whether it be OpenAI and all the drama of course they've had there over the last few days, let's see what happens there. But AI is going to be one of those big movers in the market. And look, obviously there's lots of great AI stocks out there, but comparatively to AI stocks, you have to remember, okay, BIT Tensor, for example, it's a $1.5 billion market cap. Not saying to run out and buy it, just as an example. BIT Tensor, it's 1.5 billion. Sounds like a lot of money. And then you realize that some of the top AI companies are valued dramatically higher than that, dramatically higher. OpenAI had an $80 billion valuation, it's ChatGPT, and are they Dolly or Midjourney? I can't remember. One of the two image generators for AI. Then you see, of course, the big companies, and they do so many things. Like Microsoft does so many things, right? Yeah, they're in AI big time, right? But they're also doing 1,000 other things. So it's really hard to compare them in terms of that. But a $1.4 billion market cap for an AI play is not actually that insane. And for crypto, yeah, it's a bit of a bigger market cap. And crypto, as we know, is super dependent on the rest of the market, really, when it comes down to it. If all crypto tanks, any AI coins will tank as well. But I definitely think we're going to see AI coins continuing to gain a lot of attention from the market because, especially for your average investor, it's an interesting way to actually gain exposure to the AI market through crypto. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now let's talk about AVAX. New all-time high in daily transactions for the AVAX C chain. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. This is Avalanche Ordinals essentially launching, by the way, but still Still, Avalanche has been getting a lot of attention recently with the gaming and all the other stuff that's going on there. I mean, some of the coolest looking games right now are launching over on Avalanche on subnets. Of course, you have the Beam subnet, which is more of like a meta gaming play, if you will. And then you have games like Shrapnel, which has just launched, or about to launch the game, but the token just started launched recently. We have Off the Grid coming up. And look, obviously, Immutable X and others are doing games too, and Gala Games and whatever else, right? But I think Avalanche is really, really starting to coalesce a lot of public interest behind it in terms of what they're doing, because it's not just gaming, it's also real world assets and a lot of other stuff. And of course, then people realize, oh, actually, Avalanche has a burning mechanism as well. Well, that's interesting. Avalanche has nice staking rewards, so on and so forth. It becomes an interesting asset for people to start looking at. Maybe one of the real bear market winners here will be Avalanche. And of course, another bear market winner, Polygon, our old boy Polygon. Yeah, they had a big day the other day. Polygon burned a few 100,000 Matic as the network recorded about 16.4 million transactions. I think we got a slightly different number here. We ended up at 17 million transactions there, according to Sandeep. There you go, with a slightly higher burn rate, even of 955,000 Matic. So that's pretty crazy. This is a huge, huge burn. By the way, in case you didn't know, Polygon also has a burning mechanism put in place. 27.4 million Matic have so far been burned. Yes. It's very interesting to see these other networks really starting to take off, really starting to have an impact, really starting to, I think, get a lot of attention from the wider markets here. And that's very exciting. It's exciting to see a lot of mind share coming to compete with Ethereum. Obviously, Ethereum's still the top dog in the space, and Ethereum layer 2s are really, really doing a lot of crazy stuff right now. We have a lot of Ethereum layer 2s, and we're going to see big liquidity wars between these layer 2s to try and get people interested in, hey, you can bring your money over here, bring your money over here. Right now, Arbitrum's winning that, but we're going to see a lot of others really competing heavily there as well. And of course, there's a lot of airdrops still coming up, which, some of those things are potentially going to reward people with thousands and thousands of dollars. Look, Starknet, Scroll, ZK Sync, Linea. I've been doing all kinds of stuff to try and position myself for airdrops on those chains. I've been doing transactions. I've been bridging money, back and forth between the chains. I've been deploying contracts, running nodes, all kinds of stuff, trying to get ready for a potential airdrop. And maybe I do all of that and get nothing. But as Celestia recently proved, airdrops can make big damn money. And actually, Celestia node operators were rewarded with like $50,000 worth or something of Celestia tokens, which is insane. Insane. Pretty cool. Of course, congratulations to all those who did get that airdrop and try to get airdrops in the future. Airdrops are a great way to get free money in the crypto space, especially if you have a smaller account and you don't have a lot of money to play with, but you do have a bit of time on your hands. Go play with the test nets, hunt down the airdrops, guys, because there's a lot of potential in those airdrops to make big money. People literally have made like 6 figures in the last year just hunting airdrops. People will do the same next year, probably the year after that, until one day, well, the airdrop thing will probably fizzle out to the extent that it does. But right now, still pretty damn big in crypto. So that's very exciting to see. But you see these other chains, whether it be Polygon, Solana, whatever, really starting to stake their place, and the mechanics for the token burns and stuff like that really starting to come through, and the tech's starting to shine through, and developers building a lot of useful and interesting things over there, like the games being built in Avalanche right now. Beautiful, incredible, awesome stuff. The people who are starting to really take an interest in this Solana ecosystem again. And look, Solana ecosystem got battered without a doubt. I know the price of the main SOL asset went up dramatically recently, but the Solana ecosystem still is a bit of a wounded animal and needs to really come back. But maybe we see Jito Finance or Jupiter, the exchange, which are both going to be doing airdrops, by the way. Maybe we see those come back and, be the catalyst to drive a lot of new people on chain. Anyway. Now, before we get into your questions, real quick, just a final reminder, guys. Black Friday sale is going on, so check it out. There's a link in the description. 33% discount off the Wealth Mastery Premium membership. Huge, huge value. Lifetime discount. We're not going to do the lifetime discount again. Or at least I don't think we're going to. This Black Friday sale is totally nuts. And we're also giving away the altcoin course. So if you want to know all about altcoins, this is the course for you. And we're giving away for damn free $297 value if you get the 6-month premium plan. There's only $156, 33% off currently. Link in the description. Check it out. So that all being said, let's open up the floor to your questions, guys. 15, 20 minutes. We'll see how we go. Corey, here we go. That's a good one to start off with. Corey says, how do you even hunt airdrops? I know nothing about it. I need to research it. Do indeed research. I'll give you a quick rundown and then we'll hop into some other questions. But essentially, hunting airdrops is something that rewards early users in most cases of the network. Now, sometimes all you have to do is be in a Discord or sign up to a newsletter and you can get an airdrop worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Those cases are becoming rarer and rarer these days. Most of the time, what you need to do, of course, you have to go and find out about which network's actually doing airdrops. A few I can name drop that are likely doing airdrops, not guaranteed, but likely doing airdrops. Starknet, Linea, Scroll, ZK Sync. Those are all Ethereum layer 2s. Now, how do you get airdrops on those networks? They don't exactly tell you. And this is the thing. You have to just kind of go in and try to use these networks and do stuff on these networks and then hope that you're going to qualify. Now, we've seen different things in the past get people eligible for airdrops. Thus, it helps us predict that maybe in the future, these other networks will do a similar thing. So some of that stuff includes bridging money to these different networks. So take an ETH, bridge it over to the Scroll network, for example. And then when your ETH's over on the Scroll network, bridge it from Scroll to Linea and from Linea to ZK Sync and then all back again. And that way you get lots of different deposits on these different chains. You're doing activity on these now. Then, okay, we're back on Scroll. What do you want to do? Go and find whatever decentralized exchange is hot on the Scroll network and do some swaps and do it like once a week. Do some swaps. Swap your ETH for some USDC and back again. You may also want to really go for gold, deploy a contract, launch an NFT on Scroll and run a node for Scroll, which, those things are a little bit harder, obviously, than just doing some transactions, and they're going to take a little bit more work. But if you have the time, if you have the energy to put that work in, the reward potentially is massive. You may get absolutely nothing, to be clear, but the reward potentially could be very big. Okay. Where are we up to? Auskrieg Lanz asks, thoughts on Axelar long-term? It might give potential future airdrops. I don't think Axelar is planning on doing an airdrop. I mean, their token's already out and trading. Maybe, but I highly doubt it. I haven't heard anything about them doing an airdrop, to be honest. But long-term potential, Axelar, huge partners, interchain operability. I've got a bag. By the way, of course, as always, guys, if you want to know my portfolio, what I'm holding, as well as my venture investments, there's a link in the description where you can find that out. You will also find there some very important information, risk disclosures, because guess what? Investing in cryptocurrency is risky, and you can lose all your money. In fact, a lot of people do lose all their money all the time, so you got to be gosh darn careful. Keep that in mind. Link in the description if you want to check it out. Now, Axelar long-term, I think it's got a potential to do very well. I've got a bag. I will be, of course, selling that bag when markets get really heated and we reach our euphoria moment. It's the idea anyway, but I think it's a lower market cap coin that has some nice potential to it, which is why I've held on to that bag for a while. Okay. Ablin L asks, good question. Ablin L asks, I have very limited money. Should I invest in Bitcoin or alts as a strategy to 30x my money? First, I cannot give you individualized financial advice. So this is just what I would do if I had very, very limited money. Let's say $1,000. If I had $1,000, actually, I should make a video on this, make a great topic. But let's answer this question quickly here for you. If I had $1,000, what would I do? Well, first, I would understand that I'm not going to 30x my money in any short amount of time with Bitcoin. Now, can Bitcoin get to $1 million? Yes, I believe it will. That's 30x your money, by the way. When that going to happen? I don't know. It could be 15, 20 years still. Hey, with the way inflation's going and the dollar's going, might be sooner than that. Bitcoin's a safer bet in the crypto space. But if you're looking to, in the next market cycle, next 18 months, to have that kind of return on your money, that's a big return on your money, by the way. Big return on your money. Getting a 30x, in theory, is easy in crypto, but it's also not easy because you have to deal with massive drawdowns, you have to deal with hacks and rug pulls and scams and all kinds of crazy happening. But if I only had $1,000, I would probably prioritize airdrop farming, because airdrop farming, unless you're on a test net, is not free. If you're on a test net, you're trying to play around the test net of a network, that's free because you're using fake money on a test net. But if you want to use real money, take a little bit of that real money and bridge it over to these layer 2 networks and just hustle every week. Spend an hour a week, 2 hours a week doing stuff on chain with that money to try and generate activity on these different networks and be very, very diligent about it. Show up continually, run nodes, do whatever it is that you can, deploy contracts, do everything possible to try and get yourself eligible, collect all the NFTs and join the Discords and the social stuff, whatever. That is probably one of the best ways to have a lower risk, high potential way to juice up $1,000 account. Now, you might only, let's say, $200 of your $1,000 to do that. The other, let's say, $700 or $800, depending how much you're going to use trying to farm those airdrops. There's $700 or $800. Well, that's something I'd probably look at low cap altcoins. High risk, you're probably going to lose all your money on most of these. But if you take your time, you do your research, there are some really high potential low cap altcoins out there that are in the, let's say, even $10 to $50 million range that have a chance for outsized returns. Now, even looking at mid caps, things that are $100 to $500 million, for example, there's still some great quality stuff in there that could 20 or 30x, could potentially. But if I only had $1,000, I'd probably focus on just low caps, because honestly, at $1,000, it's not that much money that you can't replace it, no matter what kind of shitty job you have in the real world, right? But it's enough money that if you put it into some lower cap bets, it could play out well. That's what I would do. And if I was in that situation, if I only have $1,000. Okay, where are we at? Pew Pew Boom 2 asks, with the 8-day window closed, talking about the Bitcoin ETF 8-day window where there was no comments. With that closed, are we going to see a retrace? Market seems to be currently deciding not much of a retrace. Not much of a retrace currently. Yeah. Space Vibes saying Sui and Say are examples of companies that screwed their airdrop hunters. Indeed. And you're going to see this a lot, by the way. Airdrop hunting is not such a straightforward thing. You just go out and do stuff and then you get a bunch of money. Like, companies will definitely totally screw people over and give you basically peanuts, and it's not such a straightforward process. And airdrop hunting probably over the next year or two is something that's going to be a lot harder to get, and there's going to be more competition for an ever dwindling pie of availability, right? Because airdrop farming has become popular because people have made tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it, and other people have noticed and figured it out. And now everybody's trying to do it. And you got to do it honestly. You have to do it honestly, by the way. I know what you're immediately thinking is like, wait a second. If I just open up 100 different wallets, I'm going to get 100 different airdrops. Sometimes that'll work. But they're looking for that. They're looking for that, and they have advanced tools to find you. And if you are cheating the system and not genuinely trying to interact with the network and do stuff and, using maybe 1 or 2 addresses, maybe 3 addresses, then they're going to find you and exclude you from that future potential airdrop. So just keep that in mind, too. Okay, where are we at? Emanon, do you think a Litecoin ETF will happen, considering it's silver to Bitcoin's gold? Hash rate an all-time high, never down, privacy the Mimblewimble. Privacy the Mimblewimble, all the rest of the stuff. I used to really like Litecoin, and I just don't see a point for it anymore. I know it's a cheaper version of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got the Lightning Network. Why do you need Litecoin? We have stablecoin transfers on Solana and Ethereum layer 2s. Like, I don't see it, man. I don't see and look, Litecoin will have its moment like all the rest of the coins when Euphoria takes off. Sure. Litecoin ETF, maybe. I guess it's a safe asset for them in terms of launching an ETF for it, because it's a proof of work coin, and sure, obviously a commodity, all the rest of the stuff. Maybe we do get an ETF for Litecoin at some point. Wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going back. I'm not going back on the Charlie train, man. Not going back on Litecoin. Got so many other fun, exciting things out there. Vincent, can you give Litecoin a chain link update? Litecoin chain link update. Well, we're doing a chain link update video in the near future for you guys, so keep an eye out for that. Abilene L, what are the top 5 alts to 30, 40x my money? Low caps, large caps. Again, as I mentioned, your most large caps are less likely to 30, 40x your money. Low caps are more likely to 30, 40x your money with higher risk that you could lose all your money. In terms of which ones to buy, this is one of the things that's really a personal question, and you have to go and research these things yourself. You have to. One of the things that I see so many people do is that you're going to watch a YouTube video, and some guys like me, I'm going to mention something for 2 minutes, say, hey, this is something interesting. I threw a few grand in there, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And people go out and dump their life savings into it. And then if it doesn't work out, they come back and say, well, WTF, man, you mentioned that for 2 minutes one time, and I didn't do any of my own research. I didn't do anything like that. No, I just threw some money into it randomly. You have to do your own research. You have to look at stuff. You have to go open up the website of the coin, man. You have to read a bit about them, see what people are saying online, all that kind of stuff. The opportunities are out there. Look for them. There's a lot of great stuff out there with lower market caps that can potentially provide good returns. So keep that in mind. And of course, keep in mind that, again, lower market cap stuff does tend to be higher risk stuff. A lot of those are not going to give you the 30x gains you want. In fact, they're just going to lose money for you. So keep that in mind. You will be safer playing with the bigger stuff. AK Crypto, what's your opinion on Aptos and Sui? Do you hold any of them? I do not currently hold Aptos or Sui. Current opinion, they need to get users, man. This is going to be the challenge for a lot of these new layer 1 networks that are launching. They need to get the users on board. They need to see a big influx of cash and people. Without that, they're going to struggle, obviously. We're seeing the Solana killers being killed by Solana, which, of course, has the price action narrative now. Price went up. Price going up is good. People come back into the chain because they now have a bunch of money because the price went up with their Solana, and now they're going to do stuff on chain. That's what you need to see. That's what you need to see. So I have not kept a close eye on Aptos or Sui, to be honest. But they've got a lot of work to do. Any new chain does, of course. Free Crypto Bro has, how do you motivate people who are afraid of crypto? You don't. Don't waste your time. Some people are just going to stay away until they don't. And when things are exciting and everything's taken off, that's when they'll come back in. Price brings people back. And they're going to buy dog coins because Chainlink's too complicated. Takes too long to learn about Bitcoin, whatever. But this coin's got a dog picture on it, so I'm going to buy that. It's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's the way it works. Obviously, I run a YouTube channel where I talk about cryptocurrency all the time, but you guys come find me. You're obviously interested and motivated already. I'm not trying to convert people who don't care. And in terms of people in my personal life, I talk to them about it. If they're interested, of course, I tell them about it. But most people are actually surprisingly uninterested. You'd be surprised. And I'm not out here trying to convince them to go out and buy cryptocurrencies. They'll come to it when they're ready. And in a lot of cases, that's going to be how it's going to be. You can tell people till you're blue in the face, guys, Bitcoin's at like a 90 or 80% discount right now. Now's the time to buy. They're not going to buy. They'll buy when that's new all-time high. They'll buy at 150K. They'll be exit liquidity. I don't make the rules, guys. It's just how it works. Okay, where are we up to? YMH, what would your long-term prediction be on Polygon? Would Polygon be a good long-term investment? Well, one thing I can definitely say about Polygon is that Polygon has been a bear market builder, without a doubt. Look at the things they have been doing. They've absolutely maintained attention. They've maintained building, and they've come out of the bear market stronger than ever. I have no idea what the price prediction is going to be, what the price of Polygon is going to be in X amount of time. I don't know. You don't know either. No, and I will. We'll find out after the bull market's over how crazy it went. But I think that Matic Polygon. I guess they're switching to the Pol token soon, so we're not going to talk about Matic anymore. But I think they're well positioned to be a bull market winner because they have been a bear market builder. Look at the teams who built hard, who said, yep, bear market's here. Finally, we can rest and take some time to chill out and build. And that's exactly what teams like Polygon have done. For example, they just launched or are helping to launch a layer 2 network for OKX exchange. It's second or third biggest exchange in the world. And of course, they're launching the Polygon ZK EVM. Potential airdrop there as well, by the way, guys. We're going to go do some stuff in the Polygon ZK EVM. Where are we up to here? Andy, thanks for the super sticker, man. Appreciate it. Looking for some good questions here. Tandrum asks, will Pith sustain the OTC price after launch? I have no idea what the OTC price is, so I can't tell you if it will or not, but certainly we will see airdrop receivers selling. I don't know. We'll see. I am so hesitant to add new positions just because I feel like my portfolio is big enough already. I almost feel like I need to sell something in order to add a new position, but I'm probably not going to do that anyway. Besides the point, I feel like that could be an interesting one to take a position in, and I might, but I have not decided yet. I'll see what the price action's like. Maybe 2 or 3 days after it lists. I wouldn't buy the listing day hype. I personally, if I do take a position, will wait a few days because usually what we see with these new coins when they launch, especially when they have an airdrop, price comes out, price pumps like crazy. Then price cools down as we see airdrop sellers selling for the first few days until the people who want to sell the airdrop largely run out of ammo and people buy the dip and then price goes up. Look what happened with Celestia as an example of how that works. Okay. Where would you put 100K? Says Adam Mayfield. It's interesting how things scale depending on how much your money you're putting in the market. And of course, how much that means to you, right? If you're a millionaire who's only putting in $10,000, it's pretty different from somebody who only has $10,000 and is putting in $10,000. Where would you put 100K? Well, it depends on, it's one of those questions I can't answer for you, but I can share some thoughts on putting large sums of money into the market, right? If you are looking for high risk, well, then you go and choose 10 low cap altcoins. Spread your money across those and hope for the best. If you're looking to take lower risk, you go to the top 50 coins and you find 10 that you like. You put some money in Chainlink and Avalanche, Solana, whatever, right? And you say, okay, well, that 10K may 10X, maybe, between now and the market cycle peak. Depends on what your goals are with that 100K, what it means to you, what risks you're willing to take with it, all that kind of stuff. And these are questions you need to ask yourself before putting any money ever into the market. What's my risk profile? How much risk am I willing to take? Am I willing to lose every single penny of this money? Because remember, never invest more than you can afford to lose because coins can rug pull, your wallet can get hacked, and all kinds of other crazy can happen. You can lose, your dog can eat your seed phrase, man. And then you're locked out of your wallet. I'm sure that's happened to at least somebody. Okay. Where are we up to now? Psychedelic astronaut says, you are part of the research. Like, I know. Albert says, watching you as I'm stuck in wrestling. My kids drag me to this. Well, Albert, I know. Sometimes the kids are going to drag you to stuff you don't want to be dragged to, but you got to appreciate it, man. You got to appreciate it. One day the kids aren't going to be there. They're going to be off living in London or wherever else. And you'll look back on those days of hanging out with your kids as being the most important shit that ever happened in your life. It's the way I feel about it all the time. I saw a good meme or whatever yesterday or something on Twitter and X, we call it X now, something on X. And it was something like, you're driving and you see a big truck and you go, oh my gosh, the big truck. Look at that big truck. Look how cool that is. And then you realize that your son's not there because he's an adult now and he's off and he's not going to be jumping up and down excited about, oh my gosh, the big truck, Dad. Yeah, gotta enjoy it, man. Goes fast. Goes fast. All right, where are we up to? We'll do one or two more, and then we'll finish up for today. Lil Riz, thanks for the super chat. I do not have a Tau price prediction. I'm sorry. I have not looked at it enough or understand enough to have a reasonable price prediction for it. So apologies. Can't give you price predictions on most stuff, to be honest. I've got a few price predictions for a few of the top coins. The rest of it, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. We shall see how things play out for them. Okay, we're up to next. Do one or two more here, guys, and we'll finish up for today. Pew Poo Boom 2. What are your favorite projects on AVAX? Trader Joe? Big Trader Joe fan. Actually, although I have my Trader Joe over on Arbitrum right now, but it started off as an Avalanche exchange. Man, those USDC rewards are sweet to get. I do like them without a doubt. Other than that, one that I'm a private sale investor in is Off the Grid. Super sweet looking game. Very excited about it coming out. I think it's going to really just get a lot of attention when it comes out, man. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one for sure. Okay. Where are we up to for last one here? Dog ate my seed. Dog ate my seed phrase, man. Well, you know, it happens. It happens. You'd be surprised. Here we go. Friar Chong. Any thoughts for Illuvium? I've got a big Illuvium bag. I actually bought more ILV recently. I've been so impressed with the game. Again, bear market builders. Kieran and the team have absolutely nailed it with Illuvium. I think it looks really good. It's a hot looking game. That's why I've got a big bag of it. I farmed a big bag of it. Got a big bag of it sitting there. I bought more. I think gaming is going to be absolutely massive next year. And this is a very, very good looking game. And it's coming out soon. You know, the public release beyond just the smaller testing crowd that was available coming out soon. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to have a great potential for this market cycle. What price it goes to, I don't know, man. Hopefully very, very high though. Come on, daddy needs a new Tesla. Let's go, Illuvium. Let's moon, baby. Okay, guys, thank you so much. So many great questions here. We could stream for hours, I'm sure, but come back and join me on Wednesday, New Zealand time, of course, or Tuesday evening for you guys in East Coast America, or late night, of course, if you are in the UK. Good morning in Australia. Anyway, I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and talking crypto with me. Absolutely love it. Great questions as always, and I'll see you back next time.